So, the Werewolf World Construction Beta is coming. I think it's probably gonna be today because I'm gonna publish this today. But on Friday. Okay, Friday. And that means that you're gonna have to pick a build in order to play it. And I'm gonna play a lot. But I already chose my builds. And I'm gonna talk about which ones I'm gonna try out. And, well, I already tried them out, but which ones I'm gonna start using to filter it so I don't play the same one over and over again. And maybe I can inspire you to pick one that you really like. So let's turn from more content like this and let's get into it. All the builds that we're gonna talk about today are for Surging. I'm gonna have a bit of talk about roaming builds, but most of them are for Surging. And this build, I really like it. It's pretty fun. And the way you use it is mostly you have, you can actually bring staff instead of a greatsword to have a little bit more range damage, right? Because right now you only have greatsword and you only have axe, so it's not, you only have axe for like actual longbow. I mean, actually long range attacks. But the idea would be you essentially maybe have a little bit of soul grass, ghostly ghost to targets that are a bit low health while people are damaging, and then when you see that everyone's going in, you would hopefully, ideally, you have a bit of Reaper Shroud on before this happens. Let's actually just do a bit more damage here, so I can get a bit more, a bit of Shroud ready. And the idea would be, let's say that the gamers, the enemies are there. You would want to start walking forward. You would press Well of Corruption, both of your wells and Suffering. And as soon as they are there, you would go Shroud, probably go inside with Death Charge. And the reason why you do this is because while you're doing, Shroud, you do more damage. Right, because of soul barbs and other traits. So you just want to be there while your wells are picking, right? Ideally, after that, you want to spin around as I just did, and press your fear on 3 on Shroud, so you can get a bit more damage going, and of course a bit more CC. But that'll be the idea. Now, so let's say that let's say that this is the new. So again, let's say that this black bear is the enemy. Let's put a bit more Shroud in here, actually. Let's say this is the enemy. This is the Mr. Zerg. Actually, let's do this other bear here. Let's say this is the the enemy. We would go in, we put our wells, as we said before, go into Shroud, get inside of them, start spinning, use Terrify, spinning, Terrify, maybe do some autos, maybe do another Death Charge. Let's say that you get out, you would get damaged enough that your Shroud falls off, and maybe you do it yourself. Then you want to use Nothing Can Save You, so, not only you boon corrupt everyone, but you also make your next attacks unburnable. Boom, you blast them. You go into Greatsword, you use Nightfall, you do a bit of Raid Trigger, a little bit of a spin attack, maybe use Grasping Darkness to see people, do some out attacks, I don't know. Let's say, and, you keep doing damage, right? Maybe going back into Reaper Shroud to spin again, right? You can also go into Lich form, because this does an insane amount of damage. Start using all of your buttons, right? Auto attacks mainly, and probably Lich case for more damage, right? You can only should do this when you know that the enemy doesn't have any more reflex. Otherwise, what's gonna end up happening is that every one of your damage is gonna be reflected towards you, and you're gonna die, which is not good, right? And of course, let's say that you probably at this point everyone's gonna be dead, or you're gonna be dead. But let's say they're still alive, and you're seeing that you're gonna start dying. You probably at that point, honestly, just move around and go out and just go out, right? Or let's say that they're escaping, and you don't have any mobility because you're you're Reaper. You don't have that much. You can also just go into Axe, pull out some Soul Grasps, pull in some Ghostly Claws to the enemies that are kind of dying. The outliers, and start chasing them down until they all die. This is kind of the way this build works, and it's actually kind of fun. So yeah, there you go. It's pretty easy. It doesn't have as much mobility, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna try it out too much. But it's still pretty cool because it does an insane amount of damage. But there you go. Oh, and if you want to check it out, you actually can go just to meta battle. It's right here. It's a Power Reaper. Zerg Power Reaper. It's pretty fun. You can see all the setup for it here. It's not my build. I didn't do it. I just took it from meta battle because it's a good site, and you can get some cool things here. Okay, very fun. You also, which is a very cool thing, you still have because sometimes you're gonna die, and you're gonna have to go back. to your Zerg, and you might not, you might die. So you can just pick another build from Necro here for roaming. Any of these ones here. Core Condi roamer. Look at that. Even Condi, even Core, you can play with this. And just go with any of these builds here, and survive while you're getting into back to the Zerg, because that is definitely something you should consider. Because you're not always gonna be with a lot of people around you, right? So yeah, pick any of these ones, right? The second one that I wanted to try out is Vindicator, because Vindicator, what I really like about Vindicator is that you have a lot of damage, like range damage, but also a lot of damage in melee. So you're not only in the backline, as I guess the old hammer build with the Vindicator used to be, with the Herald used to be, but you still have your Greatsword in order to just get inside of everyone and destroy them with your, Greatsword 5. So essentially, well, let me just get into the right build though, and the right setup. Here, I think it's this one. I guess you just need a hammer, right? Where is it? I must have had one, right? Did it not do anything? There we go. I guess this is fine. Yeah, I have the hammer. Now it's a staff. Oh my god. You know what? I'm just gonna pick one of them. Any of them. I'm just gonna pick this one and get a hammer here. There we go. It doesn't matter if it doesn't fit. No, actually, no. It does matter. I'm changing it right now. Fuck this. I'm not looking. I'm gonna look badass. Look at that. Perfect. Doesn't really fit that bill, but regardless, it's irrelevant. But you get your Vindicator build. You blast in. Let's say that your enemies are right here. You're just blasting all the, you're blasting all of your damage, right? You're going in. Actually, you shouldn't use Face Smash that much. Face Smash should be used in because it's in actually an evade, so you can use it in order to get away from damage from other people. You can use your, I guess you can use a Spear of Archimus, but it can be dodged, which would be, reflected, which would be kind of scary. But yeah, you can just blast here. You can use your dwarf to apply roads for people to have stability, so they can get in, while you're doing damage from range. You can also have your vengeful hammers to have a bit less damage done to you. You can use the right of the Great Dwarf to make everyone around you take less damage. Well, I guess it's only 5 people, but regardless, and break the sun out of you as well. You can use Force of Engagement to CC, and while you're inside as well, you can use your Nomad's Advance to do a bit more damage and get inside of there. Use this to get some quickness and fury, right? Use this for some stability towards yourself as well while you're doing damage with your Greatsword, right? Yeah, and just blast. You can also get outside. Yeah, you can actually use this to trigger a trait that I forgot. The next one is going to be Vindicator, which I really, really like. It's been very fun. I really always liked the Revenant playstyle with hammer. You have your little hammer with a lot of range that you can use. Just press 2 and out attacks, and 5 from time to time to see everyone out. You also have your Reflect and Kills and Miss, and that gives 8 as well. And you can also use your 3 in order to evade attacks if someone is, trying to kill you. You can just whoop. It's kind of an emergency attack, right? Because as you can see there, you kind of vulnerable for a little bit. You're kind of stuck there, but it definitely can be useful, right? What you mostly do in Vindicator stance, right? In Alliance Tactics, in Alliance stance, you must use your energy meld in order to give boons to yourself, which is very useful. And when you wanna leave, before you go to to Dwarf, you wanna change to Saint Victor in order to get the boons from Vindicator as well. You know, because mostly you're gonna give might with the Cortex, right? With the Archimeros, and then if you go to Alliance, you're gonna give regen instead, which is kind of good, right? So if you wanna, you know, go inside of Dwarf, it's better to just go into Alliance into Archimedes. Sorry, fuck, into Saint Victor, just beforehand, right? So you wanna just blast here. You know, you wanna use this for a little bit of might and regeneration, and as soon as you're gonna go to Hammer to Dwarf, you wanna put it up, refresh it, and then get inside into my... Actually, no, wait. Forget it. That's what this... Okay, so... The next one is gonna be Vindicator. Because honestly, I've always liked the Vindicator... Vindicator and Revenant playstyle. You know, using a hammer to range enemies, right? Use your, you know, use your auto attacks as well. Your 2, your 5 to see everyone. Your 4 to reflect attacks and also give Aegis now. And your 3, face smash. I mean, you can use it, you know, to like attack people. But I mostly use it. I think that's what I read on the in the meta battle build as well. That you mostly want to use this as an evade in terms of emergency, because you evade for 1.5 seconds, 1.25 seconds attacks, which is actually very useful, right? You want to be careful when you use it, but it's definitely something you can do. The Alliance stance, you usually mostly use it to give boons, because every time you use Energy Melt, you give Might and Regeneration, and of course, Alliance Tactics as well. You refresh it, and then you want to go to Dwarf as soon as you do that, in order to, you know, give stability, give your Vengeful Hammers for a bit of damage towards your enemies, and of course, less damage done to you. You can also use Rite of the Dwarf in order to give 50% damage reduction to everyone, to 5 people around you, and it also a break stun, a stun break, so very good. You can also use Force Engagement for CC to 1 person, which is kind of nice, and you know, it's very good, you know, to go inside with Dwarf, because you have your, you know, whenever, you know, let's say that the Zerg is there, you already, you know, everyone's joining in with you, you know, you already use your abilities on Hammer. And then you switch, you know, you switch to Dwarf, you switch to Greatsword, you get in, right? You 3 in, boom. You start blasting, you throw your little Eternus Requiem, right? You dodge. Probably not both dodges, just 1 dodge for Runner of Death to give a bit more damage overall. And you also do damage when you land as well, you know, in the little circle, which is nice. You also can miss Unleash, and if you have to retreat, you can just 3 back, you know, about face, or you can just go back to, you know, legendary stance, press Nomad's Advance, and just get out. If you don't have that, you can just do this, then come back again, and then boop, move outside with Nomad's Advance again, right? So just go, you can just blast, right? You can just get outside very easily. You have a lot of gap closers, and a lot of, you know, escape possibilities. You can also use Reverse Rage for a bit more base stability, or of course, Awakening as well. And you both will give you a little bit more of a, you know, a little bit of stability in case you have to, you know, you're stuck somewhere and you have to survive. You also have your, you know, your Scavenger Burst to heal you, to kill yourself and clean condies, right? So you have a lot of things that you can do with this build. You'll do a lot of damage when you get inside with your Requiem, right? Of course, and you do a lot of damage when you're range as well with your Hammer. So it's a little bit of everything, right? Which is very nice. A bit different than Reaper, because Reaper has a little bit less mobility, but it's still, you know, both very good. The next one I'm gonna go for is gonna be, and the best one that I actually really like playing is gonna be Warrior. Really like Warrior. It's been very fun. I think it's super cool, and you always, every time I play it, I feel like a badass because I'm blasting everyone and destroying everyone. I know a lot of people are kind of don't like the fact that our divider no longer uses 3 attacks every time you do it, but I don't feel it as much as an issue as other people. I actually kind of like just getting 1 art divider, so I can essentially just spam it over and over again. I find it very fun, but I know it's an unpopular opinion. Regardless, the build that you do here, it's pretty simple. This is not the one though. I don't know why I have this on. Let me just search for it. Wait, I don't have it up. Oh, I'm just gonna change the I'm just gonna change the utilities, just so I can show you. Don't forget about the tactics. Oh, also, by the way, guys, yeah, the Vindicator build is also here in Meta Battle, Vindicator Hammer, Vindicator. If you go to, you know, all of these ones, right? And if you want other ones, of course, and from other classes or whatever, you can go to Warful Zerg, and you can check the ones here, right? Honestly, Meta, it's nice, but if you for Great, the builds here on Great are also very good. Even the ones on good, like, they're fine, right? You can play with them. Just play whatever it's fun for you, right? But this is the ones I really like, right? But yeah, there we go. This is the actual build from Berserker, right? And what you want to do, you know, you just want to have your beautiful longbow. Oh, this is the wrong build. Fuck. This is the wrong utility. And I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna copy it. That's easier than doing this. There we go. So you have your little longbow. What you want to do, let's say that bear is the Zerg, the enemy Zerg. You want to blast Signal of Fury. Boom. You actually want to be in combat. Actually, that's a big mistake that, you know, people usually do, and I just did it. You want to be in combat so you can instantly go into Berserk mode. You want to blast here. Boom. Get your little fire in. Boom. Do it again. And then you can also use Berserker stance to be ready for the next one. You can keep, you know, using your abilities on longbow while, you know, the Zerg is there, or you can walk on top of it, then Arc Divider in, and just blast everyone and destroy them, right? And once you're inside of it, you can, you know, use 100 Blaze to do more damage. You can use 3 to get outside and leave, because it's an evade attack. Or you can also just keep doing attacks and battle standard here, around here, you know, like around where people are dying, to kill all the downed enemies, right? Or revive targets. So it's very simple. But it's very, very fun, regardless, you know? It's very, very good. You also have, you know, stability with your balance stance, which is also kind of useful. You want to do this, honestly, probably when you've gone inside of the Zerg, because you want to do your damage. You don't want to get stuck doing nothing. So you probably want, you know, you would, like, you know, attack once, you know, go inside, boom, blast, do it again, boom, blast, do it again. Get inside of here, use your stability, use your Arc Divider, attack a little bit, you know, use your Arc Divider again. You know, if you use Berserker Stance, if you need a bit more adrenaline, actually you can just honestly use it. You probably should use Berserker Stance instantly when you're inside. That way you will have permanent adrenaline every second, right? And you can just completely blast your rage, right? It's a very easy build, but it's super fun. Like, the amount of people you're gonna end up destroying is gonna be great. It's just gonna be, everyone's just gonna explode, and you're gonna feel like a badass. You're gonna feel so good helping your team and destroying your enemy. The only bad thing about this build is that warrior builds on roaming, they're not that nice. So when you want to go back to your team, it's gonna be a bit hard. But this build is fucking worth it. It's probably gonna be the one that I mostly play, because of how satisfying it is to kill everyone with your Arc Divider. But yeah, it's honestly very, very fun. I'm sure there are some intricacies that I've missed, and you can comment down below if you see any of them. Because I mean, I'm not the most, you know, the most perfect, and definitely not the expert in Warframe's world. But these are the builds that I tried out, that I really end up playing with, and like really resonating with, and really felt very fun, and not that hard either. So I'm very excited to play them. The other one that I think is kind of like an honorable mention, I think it was kind of fun, is DPS Hollow. I think DPS Hollow was kind of fun. It just didn't resonate with me. There's other ones, you know, if you want to play support Fireman is always going to be insane. In Speed Coils Kernel as well, right? There's some very cool builds. Support Scourge, also insanely good. And support builds are very good right now as well, because you will get a lot of rewards from the loot bags anyways, as long as you heal people and you boom people. Yeah, so you can definitely go in and check whatever you want, and, you know, try everything you want, but these are the things that really resonated with me, and really I think I'm very excited to play. Tell me if you have any other things that you're gonna try out, and if there's anything here that you wanna really, you know, think is like awesome, right? And remember that you can join my guild if you want. Just put your in-game name in the description, and I'll invite you to the guild in order to blast with us. You have to do it before tomorrow, though, because before the meta is up, because otherwise you're not going to be able to play with us. But there you go. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and see you soon. Love you all. Bye bye.